So I got a house and I'm so excited. I don't even know how to explain the emotions that I'm feeling right now, but I am just so excited to finally have a space that I can do anything to. I can put all of my love into this space and make it the most creative home ever. I will explain all of my ideas for the spaces and like really what I want to turn them into in the later videos, but for now I just wanted to give you guys a tour and a little explanation of kind of the process so that way you can really understand everything about this house just like me. I want to explain a little bit the process of why I bought a house and also how it went down. So if you're not interested in that kind of stuff, then I will put timestamps in the description so you can just see the tour, but I have had a lot of requests for this, so I'm going to share it. So the first question I've got a lot is, why did I buy a house? So I wasn't actually sure if I wanted to buy a house until more recently, just because I wasn't sure where I wanted to live for the rest of my life. I'm only 23, but I decided that I will be here in New Hampshire for the foreseeable future, at least because I have new baby nieces and I just want to be near my family. And so I feel like it makes a lot more sense for me to be in a space that I can actually work on right now instead of just throwing all my money into an apartment that isn't really aiding me in any way. I also was just really scared to enter the housing market because of the pandemic and how horrible it is right now, but at the end of the day, the benefits ended up outweighing the cons in my brain, so that is why I got a house. Now, I will always be doing small budget DIYs and renovations for other people and all of that kind of stuff, but I have been just itching for a more architectural project to get my hands on. I have been stuck in my apartment for a while and I feel like Dylan and I have really outgrown the apartment. It's gotten to the point where we have all of our DIY supplies in our living room at all times and we have nowhere to go and relax, and we're just constantly building things in a tiny apartment and waiting for different hours of the day that we can make noise, and it's just not working. So we needed to expand a little bit, have a place that we can actually do our work. And although I love doing like the Valentine's Day DIY crafts and that kind of stuff, my passion is with the architecture, so having a space that is mine, that I can do whatever I want to it, I've just been wanting that for so long, so I felt like it was definitely time. There are so many other reasons why I wanted to get a house as well that are kind of smaller, like I want a puppy in the near future, which I can't do in an apartment, and just a lot of other stuff like that, so it just all came together and I did it. I do want to talk about the process a little bit of how I found this home, and I do want to acknowledge that the market right now is not good and it was very hard. I'm not gonna lie, I've been a little bit MIA on socials. Obviously I'm still posting, but just like mentally I've been a little bit MIA because all of my heart and soul has been going into finding the perfect home. And when you're someone who gets so attached to architecture and spaces like I do, being in a market when everything disappears in less than 24 hours with very minimal tours and minimal inspections and everyone just fighting over things was a lot. Like, I was not doing well mentally, and I won't lie about it. All of those feelings of like spaces that I love that are within my budget disappearing really quickly, mixed with being cooped up in my living room trying to make small DIYs, mixed up with just needing a space to really explore my creativity, was all coming together and making a very ugly equation for my mental health. But I'm so excited to finally be able to share all of this with you guys, and yeah. So I actually had my offer accepted on a different house before I got this one, and the inspection went horrendously, and that was kind of a shock to the system. I was very nervous that I wouldn't find another place in a short amount of time so that I could really be able to move into a place and have that creative outlet. But I ended up finding this space, which was really awesome. Do I wish that that didn't happen because I feel like it kind of tainted my first time buying a house experience? Yes, I feel like people are definitely lying about their homes these days with the market being as good as it is for sellers, and they're trying to hide things. So Yeah. But what that did was lead me to find this house. So I actually found this house myself. I was on all of the different apps for home buying. I was checking them every 5 minutes. I would always be refreshing them all throughout the day. And the second that this one popped up, within 5 minutes, I was on the phone with my real estate agent asking him to schedule a tour. And I remember being so upset that I wasn't able to go in the next day. I had to wait a couple days, and I was like, someone's gonna snatch this off the market without a tour, and I'm not even gonna get to see it. So that was really stressful, but I ended up getting to see it, and obviously they accepted my offer and we closed, and now here we are. I definitely fell in love with this house because of the stairs, and I know that Pip will live on these stairs, and it's kind of like the little stairs in our apartment, but jumbo sized, and she already loves it so much, and I definitely think that I made the right decision. So a little bit about this house is that it actually was previously owned by a veteran. He lived by himself and he loved his house. He took such good care of it. He obviously added all of these additions and he wanted it to continue growing. So when he passed away, his family really wanted to find someone to buy the house that really cared about it and would put all of their love and passion into it and continue growing upon what he had started. So they were really happy that I came in and they wanted to give the house to me, so it all worked out so beautifully. Now before I get into the tour, I just want to explain briefly that this is all because of you guys. I don't feel a need to put my entire personal life out on the internet, but I have not come from wealth, and I attribute this house very much so to TikTok and YouTube and Instagram and all of you guys who are supporting me. I have worked so hard and I have made this creative platform that I'm so proud of, but I wouldn't have it if I didn't have you guys watching my videos. So I feel like this house kind of is representative of all of us, and I want it to be really interactive. I want to have polls. I want to get you guys' opinions. I want you to feel like this space is as much yours as it is mine, because I really wouldn't have it without you, all of you guys who are commenting on my posts, who are watching my videos and supporting me and sending me really sweet messages to keep me going. Like, this is all us. It's not just me. So yeah, if I could invite every single one of you over for dinner or for a house party, I definitely would, but I can't do that. So instead, I'm just gonna let you be a part of this process with me. So without further ado, let's get into this house tour. So when you walk in, this is the mudroom. It actually has a blue ceiling that I just noticed, but you can go into the garage from that side. This is what the flooring looks like, and it kind of has like a little log cabin feel to it, and lace on the doors, and there's a window. But I'm just gonna show you the garage really quick. So this is what the garage looks like. It has like a little DIY attic moment and some pretty scary chests back there. And yeah, we are going to use this for some DIY stuff and storage. And then when you enter the front door, it's a little bit squeaky. This is what it looks like. There's this interesting angled wall, and then on the left side you have this little storage coat closet, and we have wood flooring, and then the ceiling is definitely a moment in here. And then when you turn, this is what the living space looks like. It's very interesting. It used to be a greenhouse actually, but turned into an addition. And Pip is making so much noise. It has these really pretty large windows, and then brick flooring actually, which is going to be an interesting feat to tackle. And then there is this sliding door over here that leads to nothing because it used to be an outdoor greenhouse. So there are a lot of fun things happening in this space. And this is Pip going for a walk. She loves the windows. So these stairs right here are definitely the thing that made me attached to this house. I love that it's in the middle of everything, and I'm going to try my best to do something really fun with this wall here to make it really a statement right when you walk in the front door. And so you just go down these stairs and you enter the living room, or what will be the living room eventually. I definitely want some sort of seating here, and I want to completely restructure this wall So this wall right here is definitely going to be a statement moment with the TV and everything like that, which will be a whole renovation process, but I just think it's so interesting that this space has this lattice work and that it used to be an exterior space, and I just love how unique it is. And you can't forget about the ceiling. I definitely want to sand down these beams. They have like almost a paint-like lacquer on them, but I want to be able to see the natural wood, so we will be sanding those down. I also just love that you can see up into the upstairs from down below. I think it's so fun. This is what the space looks like from the other side. You can see that the light is filtering into the kitchen from the living room, and you can just see the perfect Christmas tree spot right there for sure. Behind Dylan is the guest bathroom, and then down there is where the basement is. This is really interesting too. There's a planter off of this door that I believe was probably part of the greenhouse. And the electrical is in the living room, so we will have to find out how to fix that, but definitely really interesting. And then we journey down into the basement, which is technically a basement, but it is finished. There are these really interesting brick stairs that I'm not sure what I will do with them quite yet. But then this is the utility room with laundry in it. It definitely could use some work just to make it a little bit more user-friendly to be able to do laundry in here. I would love for there to be some surfaces to fold things, and maybe not as open as it is now, but still accessible. And then when you exit the utility room, you can see into the basement. So for the basement, I would love to turn it into like a dance room. For those of you who don't know, I love to dance, or also like partially a gym for Dylan. And there is plenty of space to do so, so I'm very excited. The walls have this really weird texture to them, so I'll probably be showing you guys how I will fix that. And there is wood stoves in this house, but we have other heating solutions, and these are a little bit dangerous for animals, and like exercising too, we could get injured, so I probably will not be keeping these, but I'm open to you guys' suggestions. This house is actually built in a really interesting way, that it has all of these vents everywhere and just like openings in general that are meant to kind of transfer the heat and let it rise. And you can see the little vents going through all of the different rooms, and there's just all these open windows, and it is really meant to just like save money on heating and cooling and make a really interesting environment. And this is what it looks like from the other side. It definitely needs some overhead lighting because it gets pretty dark in here, especially at night, but you can just see all of the strange vents and everything that's happening. Definitely unique. There's also these holes here, which I'm not entirely sure what they're for or like what is going on, so I'm definitely going to need some people to evaluate this further, but it's just all so interesting and definitely a challenge. So this is what the window wall looks like, and then this door right here is what will lead to Dylan's office. So it just looks like this, and then there is this storage here for wood, probably for all of the wood stoves. Definitely could use some rehabbing and cleaning, but I think it's really interesting. And then this door right here leads to a little room that we think will be perfect for Dylan. So this is what it looks like. It's very interesting. It has like camo print on it and all of this NASCAR stuff, but if you take out all of this random cabinetry, you actually have a pretty spacious room that is perfect if you are someone who likes to do gaming or editing or anything like that in a dark space. I think this is perfect. We will definitely have a lot of fun getting rid of this stuff and finding a new home for it, but I think this space has a lot of potential. This is what the space looks like on the inside. Again, there's those walls that I will have to fix the texture of, and then over there is the door to the outside. And for any of you who are worried, no, this is not our house number, it's just random. But let's take a look at the outside. It's really interesting. It is winter right now, and we live in New Hampshire, so I can't really give you a tour. It's actually actively snowing as I'm filming this, but there's this really cool overhang here that I think we'll try to rehab and make into a nice little space that we can hang out in the summers. And then over there is that little shed that we will turn into a little woodworking station, and there is just so much potential, so I'll get more into that when it's not like this outside. And then going back inside, this is what it looks like. And then I'm gonna take you guys upstairs into the bathroom. And this is the guest bathroom. It's very small. So as I mentioned previously, there is this rounded wall here that I will definitely try to straighten off just because there's not that much space here. And this little vanity right here really cuts into the space of the bathroom and makes it a really small doorway. And I don't necessarily like that because then it's not accessible to all of my guests. So if I square this off, then it will be a more shallow vanity over here, and it will all just be better. So something really interesting about this bathroom is this little storage component right over the toilet. I do not know how that worked previously because I don't know how they would lift off the back of the toilet. So that's really interesting. But this is what the storage looks like on the inside. I guess it's nice to have storage like that, but it's definitely a little too much. But it is definitely very interesting with this rounded mirror scenario. Definitely won't be staying for long. And then on the other side of the bathroom, this is what it looks like. This is what I would call the livable shower for when we're renovating, but won't stay for long. And it actually has this tiger curtain, which is a moment. This is what the shower looks like. Definitely needs a lot of work. And then when you exit the bathroom, you see the stairs to the upstairs, and to the left is the kitchen. So this is what the kitchen looks like. It is definitely the moment in this house. As you guys know, I have never had a big kitchen, and I was definitely looking for a big kitchen when I was house hunting, and this is that. I definitely want to potentially knock out this area right here, so that way you can actually see into the full kitchen right when you enter. I think that would be really nice. And then over here, I would love to make a full window wall with no upper cabinetry, and then put all of the storage in full height cabinetry all the way down this wall so that the whole space is like one elongated kitchen. This is what the kitchen is currently looking like, but obviously it will all be renovated. I love the ceilings too. Like I mentioned earlier, I want to sand down the beams and make them more natural. Right now there is a freezer and a fridge in here, so I kind of like that. It's nice to have that extra storage, especially since I like to host people, but I'm probably going to do panel ready fridges just because I've always wanted those. So there is another wood stove in here, but something interesting about that is that our inspector told us it's not to code. So if we wanted it to be safe to be able to use in the house and not start a fire, we would have to build out the brick another 10 inches, which would take up so much of the kitchen space. And since we have other forms of heating already, I think this one is for sure gonna have to go, but it'll be nice to have that money towards renovation costs. And this is just kind of what the space looks like from over here. Just imagine one big island all the way down this space that like turns into seating. It will be so beautiful. There is a mirror in here, which is definitely an optical illusion that's kind of confusing. But then over here, I think would be the perfect area for a little breakfast nook or just somewhere else to eat. I think that would be so fun. And here is another view of that sliding door that leads to nowhere. This entire wall is going to be the main focus of my renovation. I want it to be the showstopper, so this will not be looking the same. So take it in now. And then at the end of the kitchen is a porch. So let's take a look. This is what the porch is looking like. It's really cold outside right now, and it has screen windows. Usually fills up with snow, so it's not really usable unless it's the summer. So for that reason, I'm really interested in insulating it and maybe putting glass windows, so that way we can have a little dining area out there and use it all year round. I think Pip agrees because she really wants to be in there. So that is something to look forward to. Definitely not priority, but definitely happening. And then this is the entire kitchen from the other side. I'm just in love. This is like a whole dream for me. I never would have expected this, so I'm just living in it right now. But let's check out the upstairs. So these are the stairs. These are Pip's favorite part of the house. She has already made herself at home. I have seen comments of people who have said that they've had stairs like this and their cat has fallen. So I'm a little nervous about that, and I'm thinking about adding some sort of really small riser just so she can't fit through, but I'm not sure yet. Here is Dylan to demonstrate, but this railing is actually like really short and not to code. So although it looks nice, we will be replacing that maybe with something glass. That way there's still a lot of light in the space, but yeah, not safe. And then this is what it looks like from the top of the stairs. I am just in love with the windows and the ceiling. It is everything to me. This little area right here I think would be perfect for adding some sort of seating, so it can be like a touchdown to do work or just like hang out. So this is what that area looks like. I love the window, and I love that there's glass doors to the different rooms. And then you can kind of see some of the vents up here that help with heating and cooling. And then there's an attic up there. This is the first technical bedroom. I think I'll be using this as a filming room, so that way I don't have to take down all of my YouTube equipment every single time. But I will definitely make that back wall a statement and just kind of deck it out like that, with also storage for all the filming stuff. There are these step ups into the room, which is definitely really interesting. But this is what it is looking like. Definitely a lot of echoes. I love this piece right here. I don't know if it will stay for the final design, but at the very least, I love it and will give it to someone who would appreciate it. Here is another really good view of the shed outside. It has one of those chests that I mentioned earlier that's a little bit scary. And then just so many possibilities to make it into a woodworking station. This little closet right here has storage because it's meant to be a bedroom. I'm really interested also in the idea of turning this wall into a Murphy bed, because I don't think it makes sense for us to have a guest room all the time and waste that space. But I do want to be able to have guests over, so I think I'm going to be sneaking Murphy beds into a lot of the rooms so I can be a really good host. And as you can see here, there's actually mounting for curtains on the opposite side of these doors. That way people can have privacy if it is used as a bedroom. This is what the whole upstairs area looks like from the other side. Just so beautiful. I don't even know how to describe how much I love this. This area right here has these things blocking the beams because Pip likes to try to walk on them, and that makes me really anxious. So I'm interested in finding a way to make that like a plexiglass flooring or something that still keeps the light going through but isn't a safety hazard. Would be nice. And then over here is just the second bedroom. This room is going to most likely be a getting ready room. I may throw another Murphy bed in here as well, but this is what it looks like. I will have to get a new window because that one is not to code for sizing for a bedroom to be safe if there's an emergency. But as you can see, it has that venting system in place, which is really cool. And then it has this like open air everything. It's just really interesting. I love how it's built like this. So I think since the bathrooms are not the largest thing ever, this would be the perfect place for us to store all of our clothes and also have a place to get ready, so that way we're not getting ready in the bathroom and it can be used just for bathroom stuff. And I think that would be really, really convenient. Although I do love the wood floors, they are very thin, so you can actually see through to the kitchen. And for that reason, I will be having someone come in to bulk them up with a subfloor and tile over it, but I still love the idea of it. This is what the inside of the closet looks like. Nothing special happening here, just a closet. And then we are entering back into the open area. And then going down this hallway, at the end is what is considered the master bath. It's very small, as you can see, even from the outside. So I'm really interested in knocking this down and making this whole area part of the master bathroom. I think that would be really useful for this space. And then we could have a really cool slanted ceiling shower with like tile and like a window at the top. That would be so beautiful. And then this is what the bathroom looks like on the inside. It is very yellow and not very spacious. This bathroom I would actually consider to be pretty much uninhabitable until we renovate it. So we will be using the downstairs bathroom while we are renovating, but this is what the storage looks like, pretty similar to the downstairs bathroom. It does have this really unique little storage thing right here, which is definitely interesting. And then this is what the shower looks like. This is why I say that it's kind of uninhabitable. I would much rather use the downstairs bathroom, but it definitely will have a lot of potential once we knock all of this out and make it into a new space. I also think this ceiling can be raised or knocked out and raised, so it will be a lot different. Here is Pip relaxing on the stairs, and then here is the master bedroom. So I have a lot of ideas for this room. This window is also not to code, so I will have someone come in and deal with that. Depending on what the structure of this building is like, I would love to put in more windows all the way down and then have this wall right here be where the bed is. It has all of this built-in storage already, which I think is so cool. We can utilize that. I would definitely like a storage wall with a bed in the center, so that is really convenient. And then it also has another one of these closets. Again, nothing special. This is what it looks like on the inside. Lots of yellow paint happening in here. And then this is what the bedroom looks like from the opposite corner. Just a lot of potential. Again, I love the sliding glass door and the curtain option. And then that is just about it for this house. That is everything. And yeah. That's it for my house tour. I hope you guys love this space as much as I do. There's definitely some quirks and definitely some things that I will have to bring up to code, but this is New Hampshire, so it's technically the live free or blank state, so that is why there's not as many rules. I absolutely love this house and I haven't even technically moved in yet. Dylan and I have been sleeping here on air mattresses because we love it so much and we don't want to leave, even though it's going to be a slower moving process and we're waiting on certain things to be fixed a little bit more before we fully move in, but we just love it so much we never want to leave. And neither does Pip, so I hope you guys are just as excited as I am about this whole project. I cannot wait to get started. I can't wait to start rearranging things and really showing you guys the vision that I have. And I'm just rambling at this point, but I'm really excited, so I will see you guys all next week for some more design stuff. Bye guys.